Hydraulic fracturing, commonly known as fracking, is but one option South Africa must consider going forward to meet our urgent energy needs. It does have downsides and equally good positives. This according to Nonhlalo Mphofu, health environment expert from the Steel and Engineering Industries Federation of South Africa, SEIFSA. We spoke to her earlier and began by asking her to simplify the process for us.
Fracking is actually hydraulic fracturing, and it is a process of drilling, in order to create cracks underneath the Earth's surface where you have rock structures and all that. And the whole purpose is basically to release some gas and oil and gas resources that are trapped underneath.
Let's talk about the Karoo, where there's a lot of hue and cry. Some people are saying it shouldn't continue.
Yes, it's very understandable. I mean, if our Karoo resident as well, I'd also be up in arms, also because of the fear that has been propagated by what is happening in the United States in terms of public health concerns and all that. It is a very scary situation, I suppose, for the Karoo residents. But I think it's an opportunity that deserves to be given a second look.
There must be gatekeeping interventions that those who intend going ahead with it have put in place for this to take place in the Karoo, for example. Do the people around the Karoo and those who are concerned not take heed of that?
I'm actually not sure of the extent or the adequacy of the consultation process that's been done with the residents of the Karoo. But I personally feel that more work should have been done, because if a thorough process had been implemented, I don't think there'd be that much of an outcry. Because I feel, honestly, that there is a lack of understanding of what this whole process will entail. And as well, the fear of actually disrupting the normal lives of people, of introducing certain risks that people probably have to live with for the rest of their lives. It is quite substantial, I feel, and I think that it is valid as well.
I think government is in a rightful position, faced with the challenges that they are faced with in the supply of energy, to name but a few, and the economic challenges of unemployment, among others. They have gone ahead to push legislation which seeks to talk to this issue. And you have advocacy groups. As a health environment expert, do you think that there's something else we could have done differently?
I think that, I've already mentioned the issue of the consultation process, where, the community also have to feel like part of the process. There aren't any groups or any persons that feel as though they've been kept outside the curtain or anything like that. I think definitely that's the area that should have been done. But I should actually say that the way that different ministries have come together regarding this whole fracturing venture, I think it's been impressive, because we had the Department of Energy, the Department of Mineral Resources, all coming together, to sort of work together on this venture, and also the Department of Energy as well. So I think that's actually one positive thing that I should, say has happened so far.
And how does the Steel and Engineering Industries Federation of South Africa stand to benefit if this goes ahead? Our industry has suffered a lot in terms of, the energy crisis that we've been experiencing, and that's still going on. And I think that as a country, we are in a desperate situation to find solutions, immediate solutions. In order to thrive as an economy, we actually do need quick solutions. But that's not to say that we should ignore the risks that are involved in the in hydraulic fracturing. It's not to say that we should ignore whatever alarms that we see or anything like that. But I really think that we need to sort of look at the whole situation, see what there is to gain from it, weigh the risks that are involved, and then a decision should be made based on that, on whether we should go ahead or not. If we're going to have to utilize water, how much volume? What is the volume of water are we talking about? And do we have that kind of resource if we are to proceed with this process?
Okay, depending on the extent of the operation, it could be up to 5 million gallons of water, per year that's actually required for the process. I think that it's very important for the Department of Water Affairs, for example, to actually, think strategically in terms of where that water is going to come from. We don't want a situation whereby we're actually compromising on the water supply or even the quality of water that's available, drinking water that's available for consumption. So, there has to be some sort of innovative thinking around, how we can sort out this, or we can go around this water problem. There are options available. For example, using, industrial effluent or probably some sludge that comes from industry as well. It is already contaminated. The quality probably could be a concern. But I think as a nation, we need to be innovative. Should this, go ahead in terms of how we should, we can protect, the right of residents or the right of every person to have, adequate water supply.
Are there any possibilities of using seawater?
There are possibilities. I think it's actually a good option as well. But due diligence would have to be carried out in order to evaluate that.
How big are these reserves? What are we looking at here?
It hasn't really been established, and hence the whole exploration exercise that the Minister of Science and Technology actually authorized and announced. Initially, there was a thought that maybe, or there was an assumption that there was about over 400 trillion cubic meters, and then another opinion was that maybe there's only about 40. So until that whole exercise has been carried out, that's when we're going to know, and that's when we're going to know whether it's a viable venture to pursue or not.
Do you think that it would provide a solution to the energy crisis that we're facing if one looks at the amount of energy that would be needed to meet the National Development Program by 2030?
Definitely, I think so. I think so, because we really desperately need to get, energy security right, for our economy to actually grow and thrive.